Greetings! I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech. What do you say we continue working on this project that we had started next week? I'm sure you remember last week, right? Wait, last episode? Okay. Whatever words I said, you know what I mean. Last episode, we started working on this elevator that will go from our asteroid base all the way down to the surface. And we need to get some more done on that. So we've got the center kind of fleshed out here. This is we can't go past this point with anything. But we've got our connector there, which is good. Let's see. I think let's work on the passenger cabin section for a little bit. So mostly we're going to need a whole lot of armor around kind of this level. Do we have a piece that fits there? I kind of wonder. Yeah, not exactly. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's going to go from that point to that point. We're going to have to figure out something interesting for there. If this is going to be kind of the passenger cabin area, I want to have at least one window facing in toward the tower. So I'm thinking this right here will be kind of the floor. And then we'll have some seats and that kind of thing here. So as for windows, I wouldn't mind having... Okay, so these are half blocks. So we're not going to be able to have a window kind of right at the edge there. But we can do... You know what? Get rid of this. So let's see. This is a 2x3. Yeah. So we'll do something like that. That is not centered. There we go. So that'll be our view of the tower itself from inside the passenger cabin. And then we'll throw in some half blocks. Like that. Okay. Maybe what I need to do is kind of have a spot to walk up to that window. And then, like I said, I want there to be windows kind of all the way around. So that right there will be facing down. And then we'll have another set of windows on the top facing up. This whole area is being a lot bigger than I want it to be. Because if I'm standing down here and I look up, I want to be able to see us getting further away or closer to the station. But that's a lot taller than it needs to be. I think this window's too tall. I think that's part of the issue. That needs to not be a huge tall window. And our floor needs to be more like here. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a 1x2 flat. Like this. Another one there. And then we'll do a 1x1 here. Yeah. Yeah. This is more what I was hoping for. Some half blocks in here. And then here's where our window is going to be. There we go. And then we'll have another one up top, but this one's going to be inverted so that we can see out. Let's get rid of all this. Yeah, this is a little bit more cozy. I don't want it to feel huge when you're standing inside of it. I want it to feel like an elevator. I mean, granted, an elevator that brings you from an asteroid down to the planet, but still, an elevator. Like, in my area, I live in the Seattle area, and we've got ferries. And this, I keep thinking of a ferry when I'm working on this. Okay, so I'm starting to get the feel for what this is going to look like when you're standing in the cabin here. This is good. This is good. So we'll be able to look up and see, and look down and see. You'll see the tower passing by. And then I want another big window facing that direction. And that one actually could be larger, I think. I don't want it actually sitting in this space because I want to actually place passenger seats along the wall there. Or, yeah, along the window. Because there's going to be lots of passenger seats on this. As a matter of fact, let's start putting down some passenger seats. All right. So we'll do one there, there, and there. And we'll do one on each side here. There we go. That's basically what I'm thinking. So we can sit right here and look out the window that doesn't exist yet. Or you can sit and watch the tower go by. Or you can just walk and look down. Yes, I like it. Okay. So out here, I think we're going to need to put in something that holds up the window. I'm thinking I'll use my old trick of the light armor slopes. Oh, hey. Another use for the new half-block pieces. Nice. I need steel plate. And there we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we've got our passenger cabin here. Over here we've got our entrance. And we're going to end up needing, you know, like a floor and stuff. We're going to put in a 1x1 window over here. This is basically so that somebody coming on to this thing here can see out, but they're not going to hang around. They need to head to the passenger cabins. There we go. Now, it would be kind of nice to have another window here. Well, let's come back to that. So these hydrogen tanks are 3x3x3, yeah? Yeah. So if we put it at this level, let's seal off this passenger cabin. Do we want to let them walk all the way to this edge? Let's assume that we do. So I'm just going to seal it off right here. And the hydrogen tanks being 3x3x3 means that we're going to need to do all the way out to here. Like that. And that. 2 hydrogen tanks from surface to asteroid. I think if it's managed properly, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, there we go. Okay, I need to name these. Oh, speaking of names, we need to name this thing. Well, there you go. I went through all the comments, and there were so many good ideas, and I just kind of crammed a bunch of them together and came up with the SSDT, the Space to Surface Donut thing, which is kind of a tribute to the mobile base thingy, and that sort of thing, as well as many people making references to it being kind of donut, torus, ring, etc. shaped. It works. So I think we're going to do that. Good? Acceptable? Good. Now, as I was going through the comments looking for the names, I was reminded that I was going to start this episode with a little thing that's unrelated to the donut thing. So you guys told me in no unclear way that it is definitely possible to put a large rotor head on a small rotor. So we're going to test that. I believe you. I do. Far too many people said it for it to not be true. So we're going to do this. We're going to put down a rotor. And yeah, I know this is actually the wrong direction. We're going to get back to that. This is just so that I have a place to put a small grid. We're going to call this rotor large test rotor. We're going to go ahead and share inertia tensor, which I think is the new version of safety lock, but I'm actually not sure about that. Feel free to tell me in the comments all about how that works. And let's add a small head. Okay, so now on this guy, actually no, not on that guy. We're not going to do anything with that quite yet, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make a tower over here. And I'm going to use this as a way to attach the large rotor part. Put in a few blocks here first. So block, block, block. That should be enough. And now we can put in this small piston. And then we're going to put a rotor on the top of that. Let's get rid of that small head. And in theory, we should be able to tell that piston to move up and connect to that rotor head. And then once it's connected, we can remove these blocks and control it. Shall we find out? Let's go ahead and just hit reverse and make sure it gets all the way up inside that head. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, that's about as inside the head as you can get. That might be a little too far. Small test rotor, and this is where the question is, does everything explode? No, and it attached. Okay, so now if we remove this, no explosions. Let's go ahead and have some fun with it. The small test rotor. And we'll set the velocity to nice and fast. And look at that. And for my sins, I will take a ride. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's enough of that. Oh, I'm going to get sick. Okay. There you go. I have been proven wrong, and I have proven you guys right. It is possible to place a large rotor on a large rotor head on a small rotor. So we could go back and recreate my GravBot with this technique, but I'm not going to. However, next time we decide to do something like that, we can. All right, let's remove this. Last thing we need is more. Whoa. Okay, that was kind of cool. Oh, physics, you silly, silly creature. Thank you, Igor. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to name each one of these tanks. So let's go ahead and do SSDT hydrogen tank. I'm also going to set this to stockpile, which means that once we connect, it's going to fill its hydrogen tank, and then it's not going to allow any out. So let's go ahead and connect this up. And we can hit reverse on that. And it should go to exactly the right distance. And lock. And these should fill up pretty dang quick. Okay, and then we're going to need some half blocks to cover up on the inside. There we go. Okay, so we've got the whole inside. The top, not so much. I want to have a place for visitors to be able to fill up on energy and hydrogen and oxygen and that kind of thing. So maybe we'll put that here on this side. First, let's figure out how we want to do these windows. You know, this might be pretty simple. What if we just do that? Kind of ends up with this interesting inset offset look. Kind of like that. Yeah. Looks good from the inside too. Okay, I'm good with that. So I think this thing is actually... Is this sealed now? Did I miss a spot? Yeah, okay, this corner is not quite sealed. That's good, because I still need to get inside. Okay, so over here, we should have some spots where we can... Yeah. So I can put some cryo chambers here. That would be one option. I could also put in a medical bay. And I think a medical bay would be a good idea, because if I ever need to spawn here, the only way I'm going to be able to do it is through a medical bay. So what if we do a conveyor, and then I put my medical bay here. And then I fill this in there. That way it looks like a staircase. And I put it in upside down. There we go. And people can just kind of walk up here and use it. Well, anyway, we can continue playing with that later. Let's go see what we can do over here. Okay, so this is going to be our maintenance area. One thing I just realized also is that I'm going to want an oxygen tank, because I'm not going to have any actual oxygen generators on board. Everything's going to be generated in either the base of the top or the bottom. All right. There we go. So we'll have, and that should be plenty to supply the whole SSDT. Yeah, SSDT. Okay. Okay, so if this is our engineering area, right here. Oh, yeah, that's filling pretty quick. Then I'm going to want kind of a doorway to keep the regular people out. So let's go ahead and seal this off. Also, we're going to want to have a seal anyway, just to kind of make it so that we don't have to pressurize the whole area if we don't want to. I mean, we probably will anyway, just by default, but we don't have to. So we can put one there. We'll put one there. Then we'll also put one there and there. Yeah, that should be good. And then let's put in a door. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and put in an airlock, which is a mod, but it's not like we couldn't just put in a sliding door, right? yeah, that window's there. These windows are all here. Oh, I know what the problem is. Behind the oxygen bay. That's not sealed. Okay. Oh. Oh. So the hydrogen tanks are always going to share the same oxygen space as the cabin. I mean, I can seal it off here, but well, that's okay. Let's do that. Would like to be able to... You know what? I'm going to move the oxygen tanks just one over. Or not the hydrogen tanks, just one over. Because there's room over here and there isn't room over there. As a matter of fact, maybe I should move them two. Okay, now this is funny. I'm going to move them three because then what I can do is I can put in the new one, set it to stockpile, and then set the other ones not to, and it'll actually pull all the hydrogen out of those. And I won't lose any hydrogen. Not that I'm really having an issue, but I don't want to lose hydrogen because I don't want to lose hydrogen. Okay, so stockpile off. And stockpile on. Uh-oh. Igor, can you grab those, please? Quick. Before they hit the ground. I'm going to go down there and find so many holes. Okay, so now we've got plenty more room to actually put in, like, a better medical bay in here. This will make me feel a lot better. Okay, goodbye medical room. Wow. I always forget how many parts are in those things. All right. So in theory, if we put this floor in right now, we should be sealed. We just have to redo some of that area over there. Takes a little while sometimes to figure out that it's sealed. Let's go ahead and put this medical bay in right here. And then if we've got room, I sure wouldn't mind having some actual, like, cryopods around here. See, I was thinking I could put a cryopod right here. Which I can, and then I can kind of fill in the rest. And that works. Why not? I think I'll want to replace those two with conveyors, though. Because it kind of feels like it's hovering. I don't like that. Yeah, this is good. And we'll come back and look at that again later. I think we're running out of time for this episode, so I am going to do one last thing, which I probably should have done at the beginning of the episode. Oh, by the way, we are now airtight. It's nice to know. Let's put in a gravity generator. It's not going to be anywhere near that much. We're going to take the height down to about, I'm going to go with 10 meters for right now. And acceleration at 3. Show on HUD and show gravity range. And that is definitely too large. Also, yes, the height is good. This is exactly how I want the height to be. It is just barely, actually, maybe even a little bit smaller. Nah. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, that's good. But these widths and heights are definitely not good. So I think about 25. Oops, not that one. By 25 should be fairly close. We can't go to the middle of this object one way or the other. So we're going to have to kind of... Yeah, it needs to be more than that. Unfortunately. Not unless we have more than one. So let's go with maybe 50 then. Oop, 50 is very close. I want it slightly more because I don't want the gravity to drop out as you're approaching the window. Do it this way. Gravity generator. Okay. So width is going to be to right it there-ish. Let's go for 55. And depth needs to go to there-ish, so let's go with 40. There we go. Slightly more than needed. Does mean it sticks out a little bit, but who cares? I am okay with this. Show on HUD off. Okay. Well, I think we've gotten a fair amount done this episode. I'm happy with this. We definitely have more to do. And if you think we are going to finish it in the next episode, you're wrong, because we have a lot more to do. For one thing, this is ugly as sin on some of these corners. This is the only side I'm happy with is right here. I'm also going to need a different color. I don't like this color. I don't mind building in this color. This is not the proper color for this. Maybe a green, like a dark green. No, like a, I don't know. Give me some color suggestions, actually. You guys have done a really good job of helping out so far. I'll let you continue. So, yeah. What do you think? Colors. Give me colors. I'd love to have something unique, but not an eyesore. Also, we're going to be doing all kinds of automation on this thing. We're going to start with a few little things like having the gravity automatically turn off when we get to a certain level, because it's just going to be a waste of power. And we're going to have some automatic LCDs showing us status of things like hydrogen tanks. I really kind of want to have some fun with the passenger compartment and like put in some informational screens that are non-scary. You know, things like distance to planet and how long we've been traveling and, you know, that kind of thing. And automatic LCDs has got some excellent features for that. We can even actually, I just thought of something. One of the things that automatic LCDs has is an occupied feature. And I've never thought of a good use for it. And there's going to be several uses for it here, because we'll be able to actually show whether the cryopod is occupied or not, or whether these passenger seats are occupied or not. And so we can have some fun with that. I intend to get this thing completely automated so we can literally have a button and have it go from end to end. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually make that happen. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of complexity to that. We can at least get it so that a lot of systems are automated and we can effectively flip a switch and have it start traveling, but we'll have to manually take it into port on either side. We'll see. We'll see. We don't even have any thrusters on this thing. So that's a thing. Also, there have been suggestions that, hey, we should probably have parachutes on this, and that's a fantastic idea. As a matter of fact, we might be able to travel from here all the way to the bottom without any fuel. Like, just basically we'll have a little bit, like a tiny amount, just to keep us in line, because I'm going to have some little thrusters down here that keep us away from the tower so we don't run into it. But other than that, we'll accelerate, and then once we're going full speed, we'll just let gravity take us, and when we start getting close to the bottom, pull the parachutes. And the parachutes will actually be what stops us down at the bottom. Maybe. These are all ideas that I've got. I am definitely open to ideas. Please let me know in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button. That's a really big help for me and for the channel. And, you know, subscribe, of course. Come by the Discord server. Check out my Patreon page. All them things. Links in the descriptions. And I'll see you next time on Epic Tech.